trying to stay sucker free in a world full of lollipops. I'm seeing all the ops. Fake news, fake views. It's an illness, the cure to the sick shit. It's the pretty realist. Yeah.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, family. Man, listen, y'all got to pull up a chair. You got to pull up a chair. Uh-oh, Grandma just came in. Grandma in the house. So tonight we are doing Black History Month, then and now, but not the Hallmark version, okay? This isn't the mahogany cards, all right? We're talking missing chapters. We're talking about lineage. We're going to be talking about just why folks get uncomfortable when Black Americans start asking who we are with receipts. It's just going to be a respectful chat, all right? No personal attacks. We debate ideas, not people. And I have some friends on here, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. I also got some guests that's sitting in the room right now. Let's start with Travis. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and tell them what it is that you do with American Ancestry Decoded.
All right, that sounds good. I appreciate that, Shannon. Yeah, so my name's Travis, founder and host of American Ancestry Decoded. It's a forensic investigation into the United States. That's what the business is. I use primary documents, literature, land records, keep up the archaeology. I treat all of it like a crime scene. So this isn't history, it's critical thinking applied to original sources, right? My theory is this: when you line the evidence up, something becomes clear. One civilization replaced another. And in that transition, everyone's ancestors were repositioned. So to truly understand how this impacts modern families, you have to understand the system all the ancestors were placed inside. Who controlled the land, how property worked, how marriage law worked, who financed things, who paid taxes, who got to inherit, who was reclassified. So American Ancestry Decoded deconstructs and then reconstructs the system so that we can reconstruct our own stories and understand why people moved, how they survived, what they were a part of, not just birth and death dates, not just when they married and what the middle name was, but why. So that's what it's all about at American Ancestry Decoded. I call it this: remembrance conquers oblivion. And I feel like a lot of us have been, in some sense, obliviated from our lineage.
I love it. Beautiful. And we have the amazing Black Jack, my brother from another mother. Go ahead and introduce yourself to my family and tell them what you do.
My name is Black Jack American. I've been hanging out with this wonderful family now for almost a couple of years. I have been looking for the truth because we're not given the truth. I've been looking for the truth everywhere. And that has made me, even though I'm a banker, I'm actually speaking from a banking firm, that has made me extremely passionate about truthful history. And so I am always trying to look for the truth. And by that, you find a lot of history that's never, ever spoken about. And it's beautiful. And I'm here to share that with some of you guys today.
I love it. I'm so excited. And I got the matriarch of this family as well as my brother. So we're going to go ahead and go to the matriarch. Grandma, introduce yourself, this lovely lady. If you on TikTok, you already know who Grandma is. Come on now. Y'all know who Grandma is. So Grandma, give a quick introduction to the family. Tell them who you are and just tell them more about yourself.
Hey, I'm Grandma, aka Miss Ray, aka Grandma's Table. You name it, I got it. I'm the one that's kind of lived through civil rights, and I know my real history because I was never lied to by my grandmother and my great grandmother. They knew, and they taught us. We was from the old school. They taught us the right way things and what was our real, where we really came from. You know me on TikTok. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt for it. In fact, me and American Blackjack, we are real blood brothers. That is my blood brother from another mother. Him and I share the same blood type, which is very rare. And so whenever I need a pint or whatever, he's on my list to call to come to my rescue. Been knowing him for ever and ever. My other grandson, and I adopted him. I can't. It ain't nothing I can't never call and talk to him about. I don't care if it's personal, not personal. Um, I can call him, and he's gonna be to my rescue. I'm just going back to some of the things that we didn't even know that we invented, and we need to know that we were inventors. We were people that had big knowledge. And that's a little bit about myself. I'm just an old hen. You can't do nothing with me. You can turn the mic off on me in city council meetings or whatever. And I have a very loud voice, and I will talk over you. So help me, oh Jesus.
And she cussed real good too. She
Um,
cussed
um,
real good. She cussed
hey,
real
we,
good. She
we
like the oracle.
no, don't do that. I'm trying to be nice. I'm nice
The
on
queen of
here.
cuss.
Yes.
Come
She,
on, Blackjack, help me out. I'm nice
Hey,
now.
stay away from my blood sister. If I ever have
All
surgery,
right.
I need her. We both have a rare blood type.
Yeah, we
oh
need
my
each
God.
Stay
other.
off of my sister.
We all
That-
need each other. And
Is
of
that
course
permission?
I got my brother from another mother. What's going on, fool? You in the building? Unmute yourself. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
That would be you, Jerome.
It's you. Is he frozen? Let me tell
He's
you something.
frozen.
This happened every time he come in. I be feeling so bad for my bro because and then as soon as he unfreezes, he'll leave out and then he'll come back in and he just start blazing. So I already know that this is gonna happen.
Yes.
I'm gonna just remove him. He'll come right back.
Oh,
He
don't
was
do that.
frozen.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he ain't gonna do nothing but come right back and turn back around.
Okay.
It happened
Okay.
happens
He's in his
every
zone.
Monday.
I
Every
keep
Monday.
threatening to buy him internet, better internet.
I
He
don't know what
always
he got.
freezes up.
I told him he better leave that Obama internet alone. Leave that Obama phone alone now.
You get on that Musk Starlink. Get on the Musk Starlink internet.
Get on the Starlink, okay?
Yeah.
So we got an
I
icebreaker.
either get him a real phone, get him a satellite phone. They cost a little bit, but they sure is worth it. When your other services go down, one thing, two things for sure, that satellite phone ain't going nowhere. That's the reason why they gave him to Congress, y'all. They left us out, but you need to get one. You can be up underwater and you can still talk on that satellite phone.
Oh
Good
wow.
thing to have.
Well, let's go ahead and start with our icebreaker. We got two truths and a myth, and each of y'all are going to give two truths, historical facts, and that most people don't know about, and one myth that people believe. So, chat has to guess which one is the myth, and then we just gonna go ahead and go about there. I think we got 6 people in the comments. I see everybody. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey. welcome to the show. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna start with you, Blackjack. Where did you hear what's the truth that there's 2 truths and 1 myth? So go ahead and give your 3.
Okay. 2 truths and a myth. Number 1, Black people throughout history have won a number of patents with incredible innovation. Number 2, there were Black war heroes in the Civil War. And number 3, there was never a Black financial center in the United States.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
2 truths and a myth.
So what you think? What you think, chat? Which one y'all think is the truth and which one y'all think is the myth? Let me hear you in the chat. Let's see what they say. 3 is a myth.
Very, very good.
Did they say it?
Yeah, he got it right.
Brooklyn girl is right.
Brooklyn girl is right. They're
All right.
absolutely.
I can't
Oh.
see the chat. How do I
Everybody
look at the
say
chat?
3. So far, I got 3. So everybody was right.
3 is the correct answer. Great job.
Yeah.
Way to know the history of Black Wall Street.
Yep.
All right. So let's go to Travis.
Wow. Okay. Let me
Who's
think
the
about
myth?
this for a second. One would be prohibition was about alcohol. 2 would be George Washington was president. I'm gonna make this a little easier, but I'm gonna give you a hard one here. 3, the Freedmen's Bank collapse was not intended. There you go. Hello.
So let me see. I'm waiting on the chats. Come on, comments. What you think?
Prohibition was not about alcohol, and the Freedmen's Bank was not intended. The Freedmen's Bank collapse was not intended.
Alex said 3. Black girl said 1. Angela said 1.
3's the myth, because I'm gonna say it was intended, which I'll get to later.
All right. Well, we got our myth. Grandma, it's on you.
There was only one Black Wall Street. There was a white man invented potato chips, and a black man helped Columbus to navigate.
I got a 2. 2 is a myth. 2 is a myth.
No.
2 is a myth. Everybody's saying 2.
No.
That's no.
Black Wall Street, there was 5 Black Wall Streets. One in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one in Atlanta, Georgia, one in New York, in New York, and it was one in Oklahoma, one in New York, one in Atlanta, Georgia, one in Alabama, and one in Kentucky. And a black man invented potato chips.
George Crumb. His last name was Crumb.
Yeah. George Crumb invented potato chips.
Potato chips crumble.
He didn't. The reason that he did that was he didn't mean to invent them, but he was getting back at somebody. It was a man that came in, and he kept saying that the potatoes was too thick, or they was too cold, or whatever. And he said, "Okay, I'll fix you." And he sliced them as thin as you could slice them. In fact, they said you could have read a newspaper through them. And he put them in a hot skillet of grease, and that's how potato chips came about. And he didn't put salt on them, he put pepper on them.
Well, so, God bless that man, because I love me some potato chips.
Yeah. It wasn't Lay's potato chip. It wasn't Mr. Lay's. It was Crumb that actually invented potato chips.
I love that. All right, fool. You just came in. Are you do this so I know you ain't posing? Okay. Two truths and a myth.
Talk about what? As far as Black history?
Yes.
Oh shit. Damn. You just took me all the way back. The first black senators were in like in the 70s or 80s. The first female candidate for president didn't happen before. And damn, one more. Shit. You got me thinking back to school, woman. Shit. All black people lost their patents.
All black people lost their what?
Their patents.
Grandma, don't do it. Grandma, don't do it. I know what you want to do.
Oh no, I don't say nothing. I was drinking. I like to drink water, and I put it in my diffuser, and so that's what I'm getting ready to do is diffuse me some water, so that I won't get because if I talk too long, I get real hydrated and yeah. And,
hey, and Grandma, you forgot about the Black Wall Street in North Carolina.
Oh, I'm sorry, in North Carolina. That's right. I named them all but that one. I apologize, son.
So they
grandson.
said one is a myth.
One is a myth. It was more than one Black Wall Streets. It was several Black Wall Streets in throughout the United States. But the biggest Wall Street was the one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that they literally burnt down. The
Well,
one in
hold
Tulsa.
on, Grandma, hold on.
Oh,
They
I'm
talking
sorry.
about food. They talking about food.
Yeah,
So food, they said one is a myth.
they absolutely right, because it was black senators from the beginning, from the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, that was a good time. Yay! Now let's get to the business.
The first black senator, and now he is not in my pre-prepared list, but it was Hiram Rhodes Revels.
Who was it?
Hiram Rhodes Revels was the first black senator. I want to say he was like all the way back in the 1860s.
I'm sorry.
I'd have to Google it to look up the year because I'm doing it from memory. But it was way back in the late 1800s. Hiram Rhodes Revels was the first elected black senator.
And what was he? And he was a
Republican. Of course.
So he's one of them that's in that picture with all of the Republicans, that picture that they had circulating around. I think it's like 13 congressional members that's in that picture.
Yes. And he was the first African-American to serve in the United States Senate during Reconstruction.
Oh,
he was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he was elected in 1870. Hiram Rhodes Revels.
Nice. All right, let's go ahead and dab into it now. Black Jack, I'm gonna start with you. So this is your origin story because I'm interested in knowing. One of my first things that you told me about is that you used to teach Black history on TikTok, and you said that they took your page down. Is this correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Oh wow. So what made you start Black history? Like, what made you get into it? Like, what was the spark?
Well, so the media around us never ever gives us the truth. I wanted to know the reality of the world around me. And when I started reading, when I was 14, 15, 16, I started reading really old history books. And all of these, here I am, a white kid in rural Michigan, right? But I went to high school in Flint, Michigan. Okay. So I would tell people, oh, yeah, I read this history book from the 1880s because I wanted to know real history. Did you know that, there was a black senator in 1870? People, they'd be like, you're lying. And so at a really young age, starting from like 14 to 16, I realized that Black history was not written about. So I'm like, that is a truth I want to know. So I spent about 10 years of my life going through old textbooks and reading. And I find out that there's this incredibly rich history that I was never taught in my schools. So while looking for the truth, I learned about the real history of the United States, and it was beautiful.
I love that. What about you, Travis?
Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Me, I actually got started. I mean, I've always loved history, but I actually started in this a couple of years ago, more from the angle of the corporate and the financing behind the colonization, the last 500 years, the insurance, the securitization, the indentured-backed securities, the slave securitization, just like they do mortgages and credit cards today. And as I was studying it really through that framework and coming down through what a lot of us know, like the large proprietors. So I was really looking hard at those families and those companies. That led me into like scene after scene or like event after event where it's like, okay, there's displacement and then like the new counties come in and the missionaries show up. And I was just like, but how they make, my thing is like, how are they making money off of all this? Nobody's here for freedom of religion. Nobody's here for per se better opportunity. They're here because they're employees of these corporations who are sending them over here, or they bought them and they're bringing them over here. Or as I came to find out, they weren't bringing that many people over here. They were taking the people that were here and reclassifying and actually getting them onto the system. And that's when it began to like really expand to me. Like what this is this new civilization. I call it the European Protestant capitalist civilization. and it takes over Great Britain in the 1500s beginning. And at the same time, they come over here, and it's literally the same corporations with cross-cutting shareholders of the British East India Company, trading in the Russia Company, and all companies here that are sending out the minions like around the world doing the same thing everywhere. So I really come at it from the corporate systematic finance part of it. But that led me to like, oh, this is what's going on here. They're unraveling this old civilization, which in the Americas is a heavily melanated group of people from one spectrum to the other. And that's really what they're after. And it's really a clash of civilizations, not a clash of race or a clash of religions. But literally, I can take you from the marriage law differences to the property law differences to the how they use water differences to the, we can go on and on like point by point, and you'll almost see polarity in every point. And that's when I was like, well, this is the story I'm going to tell and what I'm going to go forward with, because I've seen enough evidence, right? This is what's going on. These are the patterns. And now it's just case, and just keep digging it up, because when it's like a franchise operating model is my point. You shouldn't expect to see that much different whether you're in California or South Florida and all this. You're going to see them following the same process with maybe different labels and different stuff, but I'd always say the Catholics and the Protestants especially, they always honored each other's checks. So they're on the same team. They're in league. They're all in the NFL together. Okay. You get it? Yeah. It's a league. Yeah.
So it's like what they say, what is it? The one bird of the same wing, two birds of the same wing, basically.
They flock together. They flock together, and you can come up with all these labels, but look at, they're using each other's banks. They're honoring each other's treaties. They're on the same team. If they're going to get violent with you, then that means you're not really on. There's a little bit of violence between each other, but the rest of it's aimed at a certain group of people, and it only gets explained by civilization, not by race. That eliminates all the confusion about Catholic, Protestant, Muslim, black, white, red, yellow, and all that. If you focus on civilization, it's a clash. It's a clash of economic systems. It's everything is the opposite now. We live in the opposite world from 500 years ago.
This is the truth.
Including Europe, including Europeans, including white Europeans in the 1400s were living much more of the pagan life, the communal land sharing, the same life, the same culture that was over here.
Wow, that's interesting. So, Black Jack, question, like, what was the moment where you was just like, nah, they not telling the whole story? Like, something in this milk ain't right. Like what's going on? Like, what was that moment?
The moment happened when I was 14. And a television commercial came on in Flint, Michigan, and it was talking about U.S. military black budgets. And it said, why does the Air Force spend $10,000 on toilet seat covers? So I asked my dad, I said, why would you spend that money for paper on a toilet? He goes, that's just political speak. I couldn't let it go, man. I rode my 10-speed bike to the library, to the local library, and had them order me a copy of the federal budget. And that's what I did my entire summer when I was 14, was I went through the budget with a line item. And then I went home and told my parents that there's a shadow government running and they don't answer to anybody. So that was me when I was 14. And ever since then, I've been looking for the truth ever since then.
Ever since then. What about you, Travis?
Oh, well, I mean, I just want to jump on that last point. I mean, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, they'll show us the government, but you have to say who are the people that put together the governments, right? And that's when your perspective really begins to change, when you start to realize the amount of money behind all this, and those names are never going to show up. And now you can find them out, but they're not going to show up. And I'll just give you an example. How many people in the chat know who George Washington actually worked for, like before he was president? Like who was he living with and who was paying him?
Oh, that's a good one.
Every one of these guys is working for a corporation. Everyone, unless they run. I'll give it away for you. It's called Fairfax County. That's the family and the corporation that Washington worked for when he was surveying all those lands as a youngster. Okay, they ain't out here working for religion. They're not out here because they're racist. They didn't come across the ocean to kill. As a matter of fact, the first 200 years are a bunch of swarthy Iberians anyway. So it ain't even people that look like me. So really, that's the first question that nobody ever asked. Just ask yourself that question if you ever have. Who are these guys working for?
Who they work for?
You're going to take your investigations in a whole nother direction. That's all I'm going to say. That's all.
Once to Travis's point, once you realize the people up here want to control the human race, racism goes away. We're all in this together, guys.
Yeah,
we're all in this together, man.
Yeah, you know, right. So I look at like what he saw as just the modern version of what the Massachusetts Bay Company. How many people really knew what that was? Maybe back then, probably only the elite. We know about it because we're getting the history a couple of years later. But the average Joe just thought he was going, the reverend, the local little preacher, and they were, they believed that, they believed the show. But now we know, yeah. So same thing, the CIA, and it's the same guys playing at the till, trying to get the resources to do their thing.
Now I want to go to Grandma. Grandma, you've been in you old school. You've been in the game for a minute. So I came across this article and it was from like the 1800s. I think it was 1883, maybe 1863. I can't remember off top. But it was talking about how there was a lot of race mixing that was going on in our country. It was a lot of race mixing, and the people that was coming over here that wanted to control everything did not like it. Can you confirm that there was one point like where, I do know that interracial relationships, interracial marriages,
against the law.
It was against the law. They were definitely locking people up.
It was against the law. In fact, it was certain states, especially in the southern states like Mississippi and Alabama, and though down off in those regions. They had it on the books. It was actually a law on the books that you could not marry a black man, could not marry a white woman, or a white woman could not marry a black man. However, they didn't say anything about a white man could not give birth to children. See, y'all got to realize is that a lot of the racing of the tone of your skin really didn't come from being from the region that you're from. Okay, everybody think we were from Africa. We were not from Africa, y'all. Stop that. We didn't come on those damn rigid ass boats over here. Slavery originated in the Caribbean, yeah. Okay, originated in the Caribbean, and the real first slaves was not black folk, yeah. They weren't black folk. They were Chinese and they were Irish people. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that master would come down the road and get it on. Yeah. A lot of our children, a lot of us that look yellow and dark and crazy that can actually pass for white women at that way back in the 40s and the 50s. A lot of our women, they were black, excuse me, but they passed for white because
this is a fact. I got a couple of people in my family that I went and I looked up their census from like I saw it on Ancestry, and I had so many, like my great grandmother was classified as white when she was a child, but she was mixed. She was a mulatto. It went from white to mulatto to just black, like towards the end of her life. So that's when that was like my aha moment where I was just like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. They're like changing the races, changing the colors. I mean, it was just interesting. Foo, you look Puerto Rican. Do you know your lineage? Have you ever dived in deep to find out what your lineage is?
My father's mother was raped by an Italian.
Oh shit.
Sounds right.
There you go.
The Italians.
There you go. And when I say that, let me break this down to you. I don't know if any of y'all do y'all remember the store McCory's?
Hell yeah.
Okay. In downtown Newark, New Jersey, we had a Woolworth and we had a McCory's. In the McCory's, there was a pizza parlor. The owner of that pizza parlor was my grandfather, and I never knew because my grandmother worked for him. And like I said, he raped her. That's how my father came about. And as a kid, we used to go to McCory's and get pizza. I never knew the story because I'm being real with you. If I would have known that, I probably would have fucked him up. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Threw his ass right in the damn oven with the thin crust.
With the pizza.
The crazy part about it is I didn't find this out probably until I was in my 20s and McCory's was gone. So I didn't know. So that's how things came about on my end. But that's the like my father. I think I don't know if y'all seen the picture when I posted my father and my mother.
Yeah, I saw y'all on the Judge show.
Yeah,
there you go. That's my father. And basically that's how shit played out with me. But on my my grandmother's side, heavy in Virginia, and my mother's side, heavy in North Carolina. So that's just what it is. But like I said, there's that Italian. That's why I got these damn nose hairs that be growing and these ears and shit annoying as hell. That's that Italian bullshit in me. But that's just how it played out for me. But that's just what it is.
Got you.
I just changed your contact information in my phone, so now every time you call me, brother, it's gonna say my Italian friend from TikTok.
Felipe.
But I have a question for you. Was he giving you the pizza free?
That's the thing. As a kid, we gotta remember. I'm almost certain when they used to take me as a kid, yes, we used to get the pizza for free.
Oh, really? That's why.
That's the indicator.
That's heavy.
Guys guilty of something.
Something was up. If that man gonna actually give you as a black kid some free pizza, you should have known the gig it was something.
Nah,
they didn't give us
you
free.
gotta understand.
Especially those are times they're really racist.
I'm talking. I was. This was a time frame of me being from like 6 to 11. I had no idea. I'm just going to get the pizza. So I don't know.
Where's this at? Where were you living?
Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, Newark, New Jersey. Okay, it's like in the 80s. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, you a 70s baby, right?
Well, yeah. We talk about early 80s.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I can totally imagine that still.
So I got a question for you, Black Jack. Like when you started doing when you were doing Black History, what did you ever get like any pushback? Was anybody ever saying like you don't know what, like why are you talking about our history? Like what type of pushback, what type of criticism did you get around that time from just not even just Black people, from anybody? Like did you get any pushback at all? And I'm gonna ask you the same thing as well, Travis.
Everything you could think of.
Wow.
Everything you could think of. Yeah, I got more pushback on teaching Black history than I did talking about the economy under Trump. What does that tell you?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you, Travis?
Yeah, I've gotten pushback. It's mostly from people that have my skin color. So it's been kind of interesting because they're just sort of like, why do you even care? See, there's a little secret about like white America. They don't really care about that stuff because they don't think it matters. And to me, that's part of my business is like, I want more of a white audience because sometimes I feel like a little bit I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm telling you, if people can connect the dots, they'll start caring and they'll realize like how much even they've been screwed over. I love to bring it up to my mom. She's more recent. That line comes after the Civil War. And I say, Mom, they both came for crappy reasons. One came because they were starving them in Ireland, and the other came because they were invading them in Italy. Yep. So why do you think these people are so damn good? Why are you loyal to this group of people? And she's 78 years old, never had anybody talk to her. But I can't. At some point, I'm just at a point where I'm just like, this is so overwhelmingly obvious when you look at it. I'm not saying you're supposed to hate where you grow up, but I'm just saying, like, look at what the hell this really has been about, man, and at least just acknowledge it. I'm not saying you got to change your world. You're older, but at least get some dose of reality. most melanated people invited me in. I had a lot of guys who were like, man, I mean, people might they listen to you more, which I find fascinating. And then they're just like, yeah, I mean, I'm coming at it with an angle that's not like, I don't, maybe it's kind of ironic. I don't have much of an agenda, but then I'm kind of laughing at a lot of what I'm finding out would actually make a lot of white people feel a little better about them. Oh, wait, that was actually not us coming over doing that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is actually kind of funny. Like, if you get into this, you're like, they put one over on so many different groups in so many different ways that it's just like a whole. And like Grandma, I'm saying, like, they keep going with the African thing, even now in 2025 and I don't even know how you guys. Yeah, I know everybody's from different parts, but man, patience is the
we
virtue.
don't like it.
I mean,
we tired of it. I
Right,
promise
right.
you, we sick of it. We really is. Like we stop calling us
I don't know what to tell
African
you. I'm not trying
They kill me, and
but
and
it
our
would drive
people
me
are
mad.
bad.
I'd be, yeah, I get it now. I'm like, I can't imagine.
It's
Last
annoying,
time-
and that's one of it's so good. I'm glad that you said that because I try to tell people, and that's one of the things that I do with this, on my show, or even like when I'm talking to somebody in a live on TikTok. I always say like, y'all want to be mad at white people, but you don't even know which white people to be mad at.
For real.
Like what a lot of people do not understand is that they've been infiltrated just like we've been infiltrated. They have cosplayers just like we have cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have to be very mindful of that's why I'm a big fan of lineage. I love learning about who I am. I love knowing that all of my family members, people in my family actually fought in the Revolutionary War. I love learning that they fought in the Civil. Listen, if you got family members that was here in the 1800s, 9 times out of 10, we all a mixed bag.
Yeah.
We all mixed up in some way. I promise you, Blackjack probably got
That's what me and Blackjack got that rare blood.
indigo. You probably got a deep indigo family member somewhere down the line. I'm willing to bet.
My family's from New Orleans. I would guarantee it.
See?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No
Right,
doubt,
right.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
No doubt.
There's
You know
no
what's
way
crazy?
around that one.
What's
Go ahead,
crazy
Fool.
based
That's one
on
of those dark cities, right? Pretty dark in New Orleans.
Yeah.
what's
hard to get
crazy
through
based
now.
on what
Through there.
what's crazy based on what was just said is this, and Blackjack hit it on the head, and you just reiterated it. The problem that we have in this country is that we're too emotional, and people get caught up with racism and white man this and white man that, not realizing throughout history it's always been a caste fucking system.
Yep.
It's that has never changed, but they have the illusion that through all these other categories and all that shit, it's either the haves or the have-nots, and that has never changed. But nobody talks about that, because if they do, they got to address a real problem, and it takes away from that victimhood that they want to portray or they want to accept.
Yeah, I agree.
Believe it or
I
not,
agree.
what
Go ahead,
I
Grandma.
say is America is a melting pot from way before everything came along. We were a melting pot, y'all. And unless you really, really know, which I trace mine back to all the way to my great, 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 great grandmother. And she was full-blooded Indian. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But the thing about it is, when you move on down the line, the Indians actually mixed, believe it or not, with the Irish people. Y'all
Yeah,
didn't know that?
that's
Yeah.
the truth. My
Yeah,
whole
the-
damn name Irish. The
Yeah,
whole
the
name.
Indian people, a lot of the Indian people mixed with the Irish people,
Right.
and they gave us names like he and O'Reilly and things like that.
Brown.
And if you see some black people, they got those crazy eyes, those ugly, the eyes sometimes change colors, and the eyes might be green
Or like Hazel. There you go.
or hazel or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They're not wearing contacts. They're for real. That is a real eyes.
My
Like, man,
granddaddy, you know what, Grandma? That's crazy. You said my granddaddy has gray eyes.
yeah. Because he's mixed with, I bet he's mixed with Irish. Believe it or not, I
Yep.
got dreadlocks. I got lovely dreadlocks. And at the end of my dreadlocks, what is that? That's a curl.
Yeah, I definitely, I
It's a
definitely
curl.
don't, I
Yeah,
definitely don't have the kink. I still
I
don't
don't.
understand
As you
to
can
this
see,
day.
as
And
you
I'm,
can
The
I'm,
see, my
I'm
hair's
new
gonna
moving.
add,
growth.
you know, one day I'm gonna sit down with my mama and we're gonna have a conversation because I really
Yeah,
need to know, mama, why did you perm my hair? I have no idea to this day why my mama put a perm in my hair. And I'm looking at my hair today as a 43-year-old woman. And I'm like, that was completely unnecessary because like there's no need for the perm at all. I used to want a Jerry curl when I was a kid. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted a Jerry curl so bad, y'all, and my mom would not let me get one.
mm-mm.
She would not.
As you can see, my new growth, and you know what new growth is.
Oh yeah,
Look at it. It's
yeah.
curly. It ain't nappy. I don't have no nappy braid of hair. It takes me a minute.
Ain't nothing wrong with a
Yeah,
little nap. The more nap, the more dap. That's
yeah.
the way
Well, I
I
tell
say.
you what. The thing about it is, I'm proud of my history, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
a proud. And the reason that I'm trying to teach the younger generation that's coming up, my grandkids and my great grandkids, is because they have just actually effed around. I'm gonna be real good. I'm not gonna curse on you on here. I'm gonna be real good. But they have effed our heritage up so bad until we don't know what's the truth and we don't know what's not the truth. Okay. And the thing about it is, they in the Black history that they did teach us was all wrong.
yeah. It
You
is.
know, and
It was, and still.
even our religion. It's a lot of books that was left out of the Bible, y'all. Did y'all not know that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
that's something else. And most of those books that was left out of the Bible dealt with melanated people. They said that if the Bible is supposed to be right, they said that he had skin of a burnt copper penny. His hair was like lamb's wool. If you don't know what lamb's wool is, it's
right.
soft and it's soft and cottony. It's
I know
not
that's right.
stringy.
So
Okay,
let's
it's
get
not
let
stringy until you loom it.
we
Okay,
gonna and you know what's crazy
and
is
we'll
I'm
get off
actually
into
going
that
to
one day. But we
yeah
need
we
to
I'm
we
actually gonna do I'm gonna be doing a show pretty soon regarding religion and spirituality
yeah.
Count me
but
in on that, please. I
yeah
could have a whole thing like think certain spiritual warfare from the beginning, like
oh
Oh yeah,
yeah
changing,
no doubt.
definitely
changing the
and that's
way
why
everybody
oh
thinks.
Blackjack just dipped off but I wanna go ahead and drop something real fast because I really want the chat to interact with us. So chat in the chat, leave what's one thing you learned as a kid about Black history that you later realized that was incomplete. Please leave it in the chat. Make sure you all click that bell. Follow all of our guests on here and show some love. And then I'm gonna definitely read some of the chats at the end of the live. Okay. But let's tap into Black history now. Black Jack took a little break. Travis, now give us that Black history typically that we typically don't know. And I mean, like, not because we're not smart and we don't read, but because it wasn't prioritized. And
Okay.
same thing with Black Jack, and you all have 3 minutes to answer.
Like give you like a short synopsis of
Yes.
my take
Yep.
on Black history, or just give you one example, just the overall. Okay, my
No,
overall
yeah,
theme.
just overall.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what my theme is. I mean, and again, this is forensic based. I'm never going to say I believe, and I'm unable to adjust my opinions with new facts. But based on what I've been looking into last couple of years, coming out of this angle, my take on Black America is that the vast majority of you are indigenous descendants, and here's why. If you look at the plans, their own writings, their own sermons, as far back as 1610 Virginia, if you read their own words, their own history books about themselves as pilgrims in New England, you come overwhelmingly up against the fact that there were mass conversions going on. They come under the label of treaties and friendship, but people never ask what changed in real life after the treaty. What they're now realizing is those entire groups, Massasoit, the Mohicans from the very beginning, the Virginians with John Rolfe and Powhatan, they are converting onto this system, getting to keep a lot of times their religion and their names, but they are now coming on to the property system, collateralizing that Indian land, putting it into the European banking system. And that's the beginning of it. And they get known. Here's the thing people don't know. When you finish those apprenticeships, when your ancestors finish the indentured servitude, when they finish going through the university or the orphanage or the mission, at age 21, they were released with all the rights of native Englishmen, as long as they were in America. In other words, second-class English citizens. That's the untold story. They don't want to touch that. What you're looking at, and I know it's all under duress, believe me, nobody invited the Europeans in, so we don't need to worry about whether I think, what I'm getting at, though, is what you see from the very beginning in their own writings, if you can read between the lines, is mass, I'm talking tribal level conversion onto the system. Those are how your source settler numbers grow year in and after year out. They cannot show us receipts of major procurement of hundreds and thousands of employees. This was all corporate driven. Everything they would have brought in is undocumented. It's accounted for. I read Virginia documents to shareholders. They were not noting that the ship named, Comfort came in with 7 women and 2 men, and one's a mechanic, and there's 10 things of this supply. And I mean, they are documenting everything. So they would have a bunch of paperwork showing hundreds of thousands of Englishmen coming in the 1600s and pumping up those villages and filling. And we don't have one more thing to top it off. 1790 Naturalization Act. Oh yeah, they're going to let a lot of free white people from Europe come in. Have you ever asked yourself how many came in the decade following that act? Really big number.
All right.
100,000.
Wow.
100,000. So after 200 years of being here and taking over the place with this new thing called these United States, first of all, ask yourself, why do you need to pass an act only letting white people in? If you're already a bunch of white people been coming in for 200, you don't need, that's a de facto situation. You just keep on doing just keep on bringing the white people in. But no, in the first year of being a United States, what do? They do this. And how many people take it up? A whopping 100,000 over 10 years.
Wow.
So who were all the people here for the first 200 years doing all the stuff we're reading about? And I submit that it's you. It is converted indigenous people by and large. And that's what nobody on any side of anything wants to talk about. But if you go read books written by the Baptists, they're talking themselves up. They're bragging about what they did. And what they did was mass convert. They're called praying villages for a reason. That was Indian villages that had converted, and they're all praying, and they got their land fenced, and they're paying property taxes, and they got a paper title, and they're monogamous marriage. They're following the capitalist European rules.
All right. Wow. That's a lot. That's heavy. That's heavy on the track. Blackjack, go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead and give you 4 minutes. He took 4, so I'm gonna let you get 4 too. Because I didn't even want to stop him because you was preaching. Like I almost caught the Holy Ghost when you was talking so good. Go ahead, Blackjack.
I brought some cool people from history that I found.
Yes.
Elijah, this is from the National Inventors Hall of Fame, if anybody wants to read it. Elijah McCoy. Okay. U.S. patent number 129843. Okay. Elijah McCoy invented an automatic engine lubricator used for trains and other heavy equipment. Previously, engines had to stop before necessary lubrication could be applied. McCoy's invention made it possible to lubricate engines while they ran, saving all kinds of time and money for the trains as we were developing as a nation. He was born in 1844 in Colchester, and he was a freed slave. Now, he's in the National Inventors Hall of Fame, but there's a term that is associated with him that we use all the time, but you don't know that it's associated with Elijah McCoy. His technology works so well that people tried to steal his technology on the automatic lubrication on the train wheels. And so they would make it, but it was never as good as what Elijah McCoy had invented. So the train engineers would yell, I don't want that knockoff. Give me the real McCoy.
Right.
And
Wow.
that is where
Yep.
the real McCoy came from.
He stole my
The
stuff.
African-American inventor, Elijah McCoy, who made automatic train lubrication.
Whoa. So the real McCoy
Is Elijah.
came
It's
from
Elijah
him.
McCoy. He is the real McCoy.
And
And
he
he
is
had
the,
his
there's the real McCoy right there.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I brought a few examples of really cool stories
Give
from
us another one. Give us another one. Give us another
Yeah.
one. I want another one. I want
Okay.
another one. You got time.
Real McCoy.
How many of you guys knew that there was a black Paul Revere?
I did.
I didn't know it, but it makes sense to me. I mean,
He
it's-
was. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
I did not know that.
Keep
There
on
was a-
going.
Yeah, there was a black Paul Revere that was erased from the history books.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wentworth, I'm going to introduce you guys to Wentworth Cheswell. Now, he is really he is Wentworth Cheswell is one of the man. So in the middle of December of 1744, messengers on horseback carried news to the people of New Hampshire. 2 British warships were headed to Newcastle to reinforce Fort William and Fort Mary. The messengers on dispatch riders helped organize the resistance. One messenger was Paul Revere. The other messenger was Wentworth Cheswell. The Redcoats are coming, the Redcoats are coming was also a message written to New Hampshire by Wentworth Cheswell. Now, Wentworth Cheswell, let me read you this guy, okay? Because he is one of the most impressive people in American history, not Black history, American history, okay? He fought in the Revolutionary War. He yelled, the Redcoats are coming, and warned his fellow American citizens that the American Revolution was beginning. He was the very first African American elected to any public office in the entire United States. Way back in the year 1768, this man was elected to public office. He wrote as a midnight messenger. He was the first Black judge elected in the United States. So I want you guys in your free time to go read about one of the most important early Americans. You can find wonderful stories on the Black Paul Revere, Wentworth Cheswell.
Wow. Clip that.
There you
All
go.
right. Dang.
All right, last
so
one.
much.
Last one. I wanted
Come
to
on,
do
come
three.
on.
I wanted to do 3.
Bring it on.
Who's seen the movie Glory?
Me.
Yeah.
Yes. So Denzel Washington's character was a real human being. And he happened to be the first Black soldier offered the United States Medal of Honor. Okay. Now they changed his name for the movie, but his real name is William Carney. William Carney becomes the first Black American to earn the U.S. Medal of Honor. Recognized for heroically protecting the American flag during the Civil War, Army Sergeant William Harvey Carney receives the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest decoration, on May 23rd of the year 1900. The first Black American service member to earn the award, Carney was born into slavery in Virginia in 1840. Although a handful of other Black service members had already received the medal, Carney's award celebrated his earlier action. Now, in the movie where Denzel Washington gets shot and still carries the flag up the hill and plants it in the Bay of Charleston, that was a real event. And the United States Army actually awarded the very first Medal of Honor to William Carney. And I wished they wouldn't have called him Private Pike, because he was a real historical figure and he was the first one to win the Medal of Honor. There you go.
Gosh.
Some interesting
I love that you said that not just Black history, but American history.
He
It's
fought
our
wait a minute.
history.
Wait a minute. Wentworth Cheswell fought in the American Revolutionary War. We're all Americans. He defeated the British. It's our history together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I love that. So like, grandma,
Yeah.
you all right? You know, I'm
Yeah,
checking
I was
on you.
looking. I wanted to look. I was looking up the lady, and because some days I'm real clear about it. Believe it or not, it was a woman that ran the first black. She was the first black woman that ever ran mail for the United States Post Office on horseback. The man who actually invented the rodeo was Will Pickett.
Will Pickens. Yep.
Yeah, he was a black man, and how he was in fact he was a rancher, and he is the first black man that did that. I'm trying to get her name up.
The first
Black woman that did pack the mail. She
yeah, that
stood
was Mary.
six.
That was Mary Fields.
Mary Field. She stood almost 6 foot tall, a little over 6 feet.
Oh, and if you've ever seen historical pictures of her, she could kick
She's the
my ass.
Amazon.
She's
And
a
not
tough
only
woman.
that, only that, she packed a gun, but she didn't pack it in front of her. She packed on the side of her. She packed it in the front. And she was the only black woman that was allowed to go into the bars and actually sit down and drink with the men.
Somebody says Stagecoach Mary.
Stagecoach
Mary Fields.
Yeah, Mary Fields. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Does she look like somebody you should mess with?
Hell no.
No.
She's a big Amazon.
There's Stagecoach Mary Fields, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everybody knew her, and even if they did try to rob her, they when they found out who they was, they would actually leave. She rode by herself. No one was with her but her.
I love that.
She didn't have, like, you know how the stagecoach people would have one on one side ringing, and they would take turns ringing the horses. Ringing the horses is those are the rings that actually guide the horses. They're called rings. And she was the only black woman. She was big. She was a big girl, and she's flat-footed. Now flat-footed. Now guess what? She wore ropers. I don't know if you know what a roper boot. She wore the square toe boot.
Some big ass shoes.
She wore at that time she wore a man size 13 boot.
Oh damn!
She was a big woman. She was a very,
I hate
very
to be
big
on.
woman.
I hate to be on the other side of that ass kicking.
So you got to realize that our history, and they don't teach us that. Just
No, they don't.
A lot of kids think, "Oh, where did that shit?" Yeah, Mr. Crump. Not only that, we was the first one that invent. We have so many inventions. In fact, we were the first open heart surgery was done by a black man.
Yeah, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if it wasn't for a Black American, we would not have plasma centers. We wouldn't have blood banks. Like it was a black man who actually did that. He was a little yellow guy, but definitely was that. And I'm so grateful. I just want to say how grateful I am for this conversation right now, because like I love that we are looking at it as like these people shaped our history. And we didn't learn a lot about them in school. You know,
they took them out. They took it out.
Well, we always learned about Martin Luther. Like, I didn't want to hear about Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King
I didn't want to hear about that. I didn't want to hear about Martin Luther King. I didn't want to hear about Rosa Parks. I didn't really want to hear about the same figures. I really wanted us to focus on celebrating the history that was pretty much like hidden from us. And because of that, I also want to talk about like a policy or an event. And I'm gonna start with you, Travis, on this, because you talk a lot about this.
Can I say one more thing? And Blackjack, you should know it.
Go ahead.
What was the name of the first black bank that was naturally owned by the black people? It was called the People's Bank.
The People's Bank. And that was in...
We own
a lot of black people in this country way back
In
then.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
In Charlotte.
Yeah, it was a people's
Charlotte.
bank, and they financed more. They had more. What is it? Collateral
Right. Yeah, they had the
in the
land.
people's bank than the white people did.
Oh wow. So I wanted to talk to you about this, Travis. Like, what's one major event or policy that shaped the life of Black Americans that most people never learned about?
Oh, that's a hard one that I never learned about. How about? Well, I guess I'll get one that I thought was, pretty recent. That I think a lot of people used to have heard about. Really, it's the free. I think it's the Freedmen's Bank or Prohibition. I'll go with Prohibition because I don't think many people really looked at this. I've really looked at it hard. And if you start to get at it, you start to see that, first of all, who were they going after? What group of people would possess skills in the backwoods and the lowlands and the wetlands of these United States at this point, right? And who had a tradition of like all kinds of different fermenting and processing and distilling, right? The conventional history tells you they even try to say Europeans brought that over. Like they try and take credit for Scuppernong wine, which comes from the muscadine grape. Well, all you got to do is read a few novels about, and they'll be like, wait, these guys had. So I propose that Prohibition, which is, think about this, guys, the only time Congress has ever passed two laws about the same thing. They passed a law prohibiting it, then they did something for about 15 years, which was basically an internal war, and then they repealed it, and you had a new group take. Well, my point is alcohol didn't go away. The ownership and money making from the product of alcohol simply shifted control to a new group of people, all coming in from the outside. So what was Prohibition really about? When you really get at it, you start seeing it's actually an internal war following the Civil War against mostly predominantly a business and industry of Black Americans, because they weren't using the banking system. They were using all of this as credit and currency to finance themselves. So when we talk about these Wall Streets that she's mentioning, guess what the seed capital really is of this stuff? It's the moonshine. So they start going after moonshine to go after their banking, credit, and currency system. And that's why you see, if you look at a scatter plot of where they went and got violent with raids, it's disproportionately out of proportion to the woodlands and the rural areas of the Southeast and Indiana, okay, where you hardly have any. Clay County, Alabama, which is former Creek country, just gets pummeled like 40 times with raids, while New York over the same time, all of New York City has like 400. They should have had 400 a year, okay? So you start to go, I start to look at things again. It's a crime scene analysis. They've told us their conventional way. They've set up the scene how they want you to believe it and perceive it. And I go in and I'm like, this doesn't add up. And there's so many details in the story that give it away, where it's a scheme from the beginning to get people's titles, to know who owns what land in the South, who are these different indigenous so-called slaves that they freed. Now they're going to get all their information, pull it into the bank, make a bunch of money on it, make up some funny business about, we use it as collateral, so we can't make you good. But you know what they held on to? All those pieces of paper showing you who owned what and where in the South. And you don't think they use that information? And who do you think was funding the KKK at the same time that they're bringing heat on with Prohibition? And these guys are doing what? Taking the land slowly but surely from the people that actually had titles even after the Civil War. I mean, this is amazing stuff. To me, it's a continuation of the war by other means. And that's the way I view Prohibition. So there's might not have heard that before.
I haven't. I heard something similar to it, but I didn't. I like the way you just broke it down, because I think that it allowed me, and as well as my family out here, to understand a lot more. Now, what do you think about that, Black Jack? Like, what's one major event or policy that shaped Black life that most people never learned about?
Their early influence in banking and collateralization on loans still continues today.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, one of the first banks that formed is still a functioning building in Washington, D.C., the True Reformers Bank. Now, it closed in 1910 because they had some problems with unsecuritized collateral loans. So Congress wrote new legislation within the banking industry because of True Reformers Banks. And I still comply with those regulations today.
Wow.
How about
As
that?
a banker.
As a banker, I still comply with them today.
Wow.
Yeah. And that would not have existed if they didn't form the framework of the True Reformers Bank of Washington, D.C., and then start dipping their toe into the water on unsecuritized collateralized loans, which kind of morphed into the banking reform of auto lending, securitized.
That kind of sounds like what they did with the Freedmen's Bureau.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they applied more of the Congress to the True Reformers Bank, but there are still guidelines that I follow on securitization today that were from 1910.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was you about to say, Travis?
Well, so the Freedmen's Bank, so key indicator, they A, had no outside auditors, B, no treasury oversight, C, all private owners, trustees, including Howard University's namesake. Oh, guys, I can have fun with all this, okay? I can have fun with like who's behind historically black colleges. Like, oh yeah, it's all there now.
Yeah, I posted a video. That video that I posted, I posted your video actually on my IG where you was actually talking about the Freedmen's.
It's
the
crazy.
Freedmen's
It's
Bank.
crazy. It's a total move. It's a total hitman's job. They still do this stuff in the modern world. They just did it internally to a group of people.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what they were doing. And finally, like 8 years into it, they changed a rule. Remember, they don't have to report anything to Congress. So they get together and they come up with this rule. You will no longer keep copies of the artifacts and the titles and the deeds that these indigenous ex-slaves are, because remember, you're bringing like indigenous relics and different, you're not bringing standard United States. That's the whole point of the bank, is to get at. See, this gives away the lie about who the slaves were. Apparently they owned a bunch of property. Because after the war, the Freedmen's Bank is set up to get them to deposit that property in the documentation of the property into a centralized system. That's what they're doing. In the middle of it, they change it to do what? No more backup copies. So they set it up, everything gets burned, and all your local depositors have no backup. It's right in front of you. Like even in the articles of the day, how they wouldn't let people into these banks, they closed them overnight. I mean, I'm not making it up either. All the news stories are lying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it sounds crazy until I'm sitting there reading it from different sources. I'm like, this is my way to explain this. So yeah, it ties into what he's saying. Like, look at the rules he has to follow and look at the Freedmen's Bank setup. It gives it away. It gives away what they're up to.
Yep. Oh, did you want to say anything?
Nah, not really, because I'm sitting here listening. I'm listening and learning. But once again, everything that's being said proves the point that the haves are making sure they need to do what they do for themselves to take from the have-nots, and it's like a never-ending thing. Because I would be under the impression whoever had land, they made sure that they took, because they still doing it now. They're literally doing it now. We see it all the time, but they never really talk about it. The fact that we don't see more press about what's going on in Chicago with them stealing land, the actual city stealing land, they won't talk about that, but they damn sure put that Mr. S. Carroll Mohawk all over the news, and that's crazy because they aren't talking about the underlying issue. That always seems to be brushed under the rug. To me, it's always like this.
Yeah. Grandma, what you have to say?
Just like he was talking about the black colleges. Do you know there's only one woman that's name was the one woman that has is the first black woman that had a black college? Do y'all know who she is?
Oprah Winfrey.
No, you're a lie. Her name was Bethune.
Stop, fool. You don't want no damn Oprah. She had that school in.
It was Mary Cloud Bethune-Cookman.
Oh
Mary
yeah,
She
I've
is
heard of
the
her.
only. Listen to me. She is the only Black woman that opened up a school and turned that school into a university.
Wow.
And who was the
Not know
primary
that?
source? And who was the primary source of funding that helped her with that? Let's see how
Right.
good Grandma is today.
Come
So
on,
what
Grandma.
now?
Who was the primary source of funding?
For today, in today's time?
Well, no. Who was the one that was writing the big checks when the university?
Morgan
When it was,
Rockefeller.
No, it was. She had a
who
lot
was
to
the
do
who
with,
was the first Black female millionaire?
Roosevelt.
Huh?
Mimi Roosevelt had a lot to do with it.
No.
No.
Who was it?
Who was
I
the
know-
black,
I know
who was the
Trump did
first
a lot
black?
for
Who
the
was the
PCU.
first black female millionaire in New York City?
Was it Madam C.J. Walker?
Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker. She was a self-made millionaire.
And
the first Black woman to ever be a self-made millionaire.
But did you all know? Did you all know that
recent-
she wasn't the only one that invented hair relaxer?
She stole it.
Yeah, I know.
The man who invented the gas mask and the 3-tier stoplight also invented hair straightener and the hot comb.
Right. but she's the one that actually took it and had it patterned and made.
Yeah, she took it. She stole it. So she was a thief.
What she did was she made it better. It was somebody else's invention.
I ain't gonna say
she tweaked it and made it better.
She tweaked it because he did it. He used it off of he discovered that it was able to straighten hair using like some fur or something, like something off of a coat, and she actually was using it for some hair. Like she actually like upgraded the process of it. But like I was just like, dang, let me see.
Some oils that come out of I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say a ferret, but it's not a ferret. It's another animal's the oil from that particular animal.
I was just like, damn. So let me see. You discovered gas mask, stoplights, and perm. Oh, you was
Nah, Freddie, he needed to put that damn gas mask on to create that perm. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Right, because you remember how on X, on the movie X, when Malcolm X had to put his head in that toilet, he looked. I'm sorry, I know that wasn't funny, but that was funny as hell when he put his head in that toilet.
Blackjack can probably confirm this. If I'm not mistaken, they always give Henry Ford credit for Ford or whatever, but I think they said that it was a black dude that actually invented the car, and it was Henry Ford that created the line, whatever it was.
Hold on. Hey, Nature 44773. I'm gonna just go ahead and block you but I'm gonna say this right quick. Take that shit out of here. You could take that over to like somebody else's live. We don't do that bullshit over here. We having a good, solid conversation. We're talking about a lot of awesome, amazing information. If you don't like what you're hearing, then take your ass and get the fuck on, bro.
Ooh.
I cuss on my live, Grandma.
I'm trying to be manable.
The first black, it's
the
colonized language. I'm about to colonize you and kick your ass out my live, man.
I can't see the comments or anything like that. I'm kind of
I see the comments. I can see them over here. This is one of the reasons why I don't do live on TikTok anymore, because I have more control over my panel and I can see what's going on.
Right.
And what we deal with over here is we do deal with a lot of bots. The bots over here be fiery though. Like I don't know if they be coming from IG, because IG is probably 90% of bots. But yeah, a lot of them come over here and a lot of them say that. Sorry, Travis, if you had to hear me talking that language.
I'm free to
I am a lady. But I don't like when people bring negativity when we're having such a good positive conversation. Like you could have kept that shit over there somewhere. If you're not enjoying the conversation, then please log off and you don't have to subscribe to what you're listening to.
Well, see, I find benefits even from attacks because it's really important to say that we are all colonizers. The first people here were Russians. Right? I mean, the Clovis people, which were some of the first inhabitants, walked over from frickin' Russia. So we all colonized the Russians.
Yeah.
See, there's
just,
even
I guess it was just weird because a black woman just said the first black, and she said that is colonized language. You mean a colonizer's language?
Right.
Well, the thing about it is they kill me with they want to call you everything but what you truly are. And I'm not from Africa, so I can't be an Afro-American. And I'm not from wherever because my people was not enslaved. Okay.
Great.
So only thing that I can see that I'm American. I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm not green, I'm not purple. I'm an American for our most, and that's it. So you know what? Lord Jesus, help me. Come on right now. Please don't say that what you want to say. Because you know what? I am so sick and tired of these MFs always talking crazy about your race and color. Only thing that's different from us, y'all, is our damn blood type. And my blood brother that's sitting up here now, me and him got the same damn blood, so we ain't no damn different, other than the male and the female. But other than that, we got the same damn brain, even though his is bigger than mine. Because he's smarter than I am, got more knowledge, a little bit more knowledge than I do. But other than that, y'all need to put this bullshit aside.
Man, and that's what I'm trying, and that's what we working on doing, Grandma. Yeah. But we ain't gonna let the devil interrupt this what we got going on. We gonna bring it right back to the conversation.
Yeah, why don't you sit down and down in Section 8 and learn something? Because,
ain't no wrong with no Section 8. I wish I could get Section 8.
I'm using that in my life. Just get your Section 8 ass out of here.
I wish I could get Section 8. So I really wanted to ask you something. I wanted to ask you something, Blackjack. Like, what major legal and Travis, this is also right up your alley. But Blackjack, you real hip to the script when it comes to the law, when it comes to banking, when it comes to citizenship and what we're going through right now in our country. Like, what do you think is a major legal shift that changed the identity, the citizenship, or the status of the Black Americans of this country?
Ooh. Well, so. This is, I assume you asked me because you want truth.
Yes, okay. That's all we want.
So the blacks and some of the initial slaves, the Irish, right? There were white slaves. They were brought over as cheap labor from the people at the top, the old Hudson Bays that he talks about, the West Indian Trade Company. To think that those people are not still pulling the strings at the top, they brought in mass immigration so that they could drive down the cost of the labor force and pay all the American people less per hour. The same people are pulling the same strings and have been for 100 years. Just people aren't filling it out. So they brought over 18 or 20 million people. That drives down labor costs. It was financed by the exact same people. If you look at who funded, some of the organizations that led to the mass immigration, Race Forward was a big one that advanced some of it. But if you look at who funded the migrant crisis, it's Ford, it's Hewlett Packard, it's the same people at the top that paid for these buses to get people over here so that they could pay the people $2 or $3 less an hour. When you have 300,000 employees, it saves you a bunch of money.
And that's so interesting that you said that, because I was saying to my boyfriend a couple of weeks ago, like, I truly believe that these little protests that we've been seeing are funded by the corporations. Because
I can prove it.
They want to keep them here. They want to keep them here because it is cheap labor, because they know that at this point, they know that when it comes to us not getting paid properly, first of all, we're not going to deal with that. We're going to picket. We're going to go on strike. We're going to say, hey, man, my check is short. Look here, man. If we feel discriminated against, what we going to do? We're going to file a lawsuit. We're going to file a claim. Do you know, like, these people ain't talking. They're not upset. Like, they're not mad.
No.
They're here living the dream. They don't have to live in a third world country anymore. They don't have to deal with all of the mess. They don't have to worry about walking outside and seeing a missing limb or a bomb hitting their head. What's that? What you about to do with that calculator?
I'm going to show you the math.
Come on. Go and do what you do. This is what Blackjack does.
Time for the banker to show you the math.
This is what Blackjack does. Show us the math, please, Blackjack.
Why would you write big checks to bring immigrants here? Well, if you can drive down the labor force by $1 an hour only, okay, $1 an hour only. Mm-hmm. Let's say you have 300,000 employees, okay? There are 2,080 working hours in a year. So if you go 300,000 employees times 2,080 working hours a year, that saves your corporation $624 million a year. So if you're saving $624 million a year by dropping labor by $1 an hour, are you willing to write a $70 million check to get people here? That's the game. If you look at who funds all of these immigrant centers, it's the corporatocracy that you all hate. Figure it out, people. There's the numbers.
Wow.
Thank you. That's an anti-American issue, and that should unite all of us, damn it.
What you just said, Travis, what you say about that? Like,
what's the question is, what was
that's for just one corporation, right? That's just for one corporate.
That's just one.
Well, for the big, yeah. And they do the same thing with H-1B visas. They in my generation, they outsourced and eliminated for the various form millions of tech jobs in various formats that took away 1 million upper middle class white collar jobs. That's what they did, and they began doing that. That's Microsoft, that's Oracle, that's IBM. And those are just facts, right? So, but what's the question here? Like, what's the one event in the past?
Yeah, like what's like one major legal shift that changed the identity? We're talking about identity, citizenship, status.
The Civil War is the great untold story. It was
the Civil War.
It was truly a civil war, an interfamilial war. And I don't mean about Europeans calling themselves American. I mean about indigenous people, the ones that converted onto the system in the Southeast had not. It was still holding down a gigantic commonly held lands. It was repudiating the bank debt since the 1830s. Basically, they were still running quite a bit of the old indigenous ancient system. All right. They still have big commons. All right. That's the big thing that nobody wants to get around either. Right. It makes a lot of sense when you start buying into what I'm talking about. They were doing mass conversions around this continent since the early 1600s. Ask yourself this: if the South and all those slaves and everybody was on this system, then why they need to make them into Christians? Why they need to teach them English after the war? Perhaps that's indicative of the fact that they were holding down their ancient indigenous ways still, overlaid with corporate capitalist bankers. Those are the guys on the hook for the mortgages, not the indigenous. You know, the indigenous, the slaves were protected from that type of mortgage stuff. People confuse that with them not owning property and getting paid. I can read the entire books and judicial reviews showing all that stuff going on, dime a dozen every day. So what is really going on in all that stuff? And why is the history of the South a black hole anyways? Prior to the Civil War, they don't really tell you much. And that should raise a lot more questions to people. All right, because what do you know? Who really knows, right? They don't talk about it. When they tell you about the South in the 1800s, it's just they were really bad. They were whipping African slaves every day. And that's it. And then you get to the Civil War. They freed the slaves and then put them all into rent sharecropping status for the rest of their lives. So ask that question. If the South or if the Civil War was about freeing slaves, any type of slaves at this point, well, why don't you just buy out their manumission contracts? They had a whole process for that. And Great Britain did it in the late 17 and early 1800s. Why did you raise $14 trillion in equivalent modern debt, which is way more than we've done for Iraq and Afghanistan, just to free some supposedly African slaves and then treat them really bad afterwards? I'm not going to sit here and answer all those questions. I'm going to ask you the question. Let some people start thinking about that and see what historian is going to answer any of those with some solid receipts. Show me receipts. Show me all the Africans they imported. That's a major supply procurement contract to be ordering hundreds of bodies and coming across the ocean. You would have insurance contracts on them because those are assets. And if the ship goes down, I want to get paid. So show me all of that, and then I'll believe that there's a bunch of Africans enslaved in the South, and then I might believe that it was a war about freeing African slaves. Nobody ever has been able to show any of what I'm talking about. And if they could, they'd be plastered on the cover of your American history book.
Wow. I'm going to go to the comments real quick. I'm going to go to the comments real quick. KS95 said, yes, I am about as black as Obsidian and found out my third great grandfather Russell was a so-called white man who served in the Confederacy. The Civil War was truly something else. Yes, it was. And it was even after the Civil War. I learned about a really crazy historical fact not too long ago about the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi. If you have never heard about that, you all can check out the video. It is actually on my YouTube. I did do a reaction video to it. It's an incredibly sad and tragic story, but it's one of those genocides that they have done such a great job with hiding in our country. But definitely check it out. That's a shameless plug. Watch the video. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into the next topic. Jane Elliott and Tim Wise. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get off into it. Grandma, what's that look?
Hey, let me tell you something. You know how us old folks is. I reclaim my time.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I mean, look, some folks love them, some folks can't stand them. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, do you think? I don't know, fool. What you think about Jane Elliott and Tim Wise? I'm gonna let Grandma.
The thing about it, they serve their purpose to me for this reason alone. If you put them in front of white students, they're more prone to listen to them and accept the message. Because what happens is when you put black people in front of, I would say, white students like that, they tend to brush it out. They tend to brush it off because what are they taught? Black people need to just let slavery go.
Right.
Black people need. Like, it's always like
get over it.
It's always about, to me, it's always been about the messenger.
Yeah.
So this is my biggest thing, and I mean this with all sincerity.
Yeah.
When it comes to the messenger and the message, it does matter in certain situations.
True.
The last thing you want to do is send that old woman and that white dude in the middle of the hood telling them about Black history. Will they be factual? Yes. Nobody's disputing that. But who's really going to accept the message? I would, because I want to hear whatever it is. But people got to be mindful of that. But when you put them in front of white students, that shit with Jane Elliott that time when she made that white girl cry, I watched that shit just to laugh. That shit is fucking hilarious because she checked her, because that's what needs to happen more so and more often, but more so with the young people, because like I said, will they really accept that message depending on who it was? Like, mind you, let's just put it like this. Do we really think that some young white kid's going to accept that message from Dr. Umar? Hell no. Hell no.
What about that girl that walked up to Malcolm X that time? He was getting ready to give a lecture, and she asked him, "What can I help you to do?" He said, "Absolutely nothing."
But you get what I'm saying. Like that's my whole thing. I don't have any objective to any history, but I think it just needs to be, people got to be mindful of who you're sending that message out to, especially like when it comes to having an open mind and that type of intellect, like having that type of mindset, because it's tough and it's a fine line to cross, because people start asking questions of why you coming at me like that. Like we got Travis and we got Blackjack on here. We know how knowledgeable they are. Plus, not too many people are willing to listen to history. That's the other thing too. It's a very fine line. And in my personal opinion, you just got to know your audience. That's my big thing.
What you think, Grandma?
Well, me.
Because I mean, like I know you was around when she had the doll test.
Well, it's like this.
Uh-oh.
What can I say? Can I say stuff that I normally can't say on
your mind?
This is YouTube. You can
Okay.
speak wide open.
Yeah, but see, I've never been on a panel on YouTube, you know?
Nah, this is YouTube.
You can't get flagged. You
we don't say unalive. We don't say none of that. We
Okay.
get to the business.
The business is this. Certain people can't take certain things from white folk because of the fact is from black folks. Now let me turn that around. Black folks don't trust other black folks, but if a white person come to them with the same damn information, oh yeah, oh yeah, that was true. Oh yeah. But was it? Is it? The test that they made, that was true. They much rather have that pretty white doll because they didn't got you up here. Believe it. Oh, she's beautiful. She's this, she's that. Look at it like the Barbie dolls. Miss Barbie was Miss Barbie for years and years and years. It was a long time before they put a black Barbie out. A long time, just like those damn fairy tales, the princesses, Snow White, and all that. All of that is always geared toward. They make black people and they make our black children think we're not beautiful, we're not smart, we're dumb, and they're still doing the shit today. They still got us thinking that we ain't intelligent. That's a lie you tell. Just like this damn Save America Act with doggone Chuck Schumer say we ain't wise enough to go and get no ID. Y'all are telling us something. Y'all basically they want to keep you dumbed down and they want to keep their foot on your neck. And it's a lot of us haven't woke up yet. And they believe everything. If they tell you, oh, if you go and jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, you will never die.
I feel like that Jane Elliott and Tim Wise are those same people who made white people. They're those people that got, you know, certain white people feeling like that they need to feel bad for being white. Like I feel like that they jumped that off. They definitely jumped that off because like they just always like I used to really listen to a lot of Tim Wise and Jane Elliott, but then after a while I started listening and then I started wondering like, okay, what is the purpose behind what you're saying at this point? We got it when it came to the doll test, but at some point you got to wonder like, is there a resolution that you're bringing? Are you trying to bring us together or make us grow further apart? And then when she had that situation with a student, I guess it was a black student, and she said the N-word to that student. She said, why are you acting like a Nigger to that student, and black folks lost their mind. They was like, oh, we got to unfollow Jane. And then she came back and she started getting on the hate train of Trump. And now they want to get right back on her. And I was just like, but wait a minute, like y'all was just mad at her a year or so ago because she said the N-word. So which one is it? That's
Once
the
again.
psychological. I feel like they play with people's minds. Like it's a psychological thing. Go ahead, Travis.
No, yeah. So I've tracked this. I believe this is a part of the society we're in. You see this in the 1800s. I cover it, not plugging myself too much here, but I have a report on the cult of the goddess Columbia. And I've tracked like the different people who own the different newspapers, and they're out there pumping out. It's all coordinated, and they're always trying to, whether it's this movement or that movement, or in this case, it was this Columbia thing where they're reading poetry in her name every Sunday. The children are reciting it in school every 4th of July. The goddess, like, what is all this stuff? And you realize like they set it up like there's a newspaper in every town. Like I realized when they would take a territory and then it became a state, now you create the counties, right? A requirement in each county is like a newspaper. Now, why in our society do they bake it into the law that you got to have a newspaper? Well, I submit to you that's their propaganda outpost. They're the ones building the society, and they're like, hey, we want to make sure there's a church, surveillance, there's a newspaper sending our message to you. And that's this system that we live in. I'm telling you, that's what she's talking about to me is the class of civil. We live in a new civilization. And I'm telling you, so much of the things that are normal in our lives didn't even exist, but they did not do things. Your ancestors didn't do things this way. And when they showed up, when the Europeans showed up when they're writing about how they were behaving, it's not like this. There's a whole nother way of doing so many things: family life, economic life, tax life, even these things we're talking about, the princesses. Even as a white parent, I'm like, this is just telling people, hey, girls, if you want to succeed in life, find a rich guy. I mean, that's really all the Disney, every story. When you really break it down, 9 out of 10, that's the message. That is a capitalist corporate message on purpose. Disney is a major shareholder back, always has been a major profit-making machine. I mean, you got to just start putting it together. Like, there are people in charge of each industry, and they're coming out with the programming, and they adjust it for each era. They see people catching on. Like, I guarantee you guys, we right here and all, we're gonna fit. You watch. They know what's going on. They see what people are talking about, especially nowadays, right? They're gonna come out with things to because this is what I want to your point, to sucker you in just off base, to sucker you in the alien, sucker you in to Pan-African, sucker you into the stuff, like just sucker you away from anything, but let's just stay focused on exactly what the heck's really going on here. And that's it. Like, that's what I think these guys are plants. I mean, they might not know they're plants, but what you guys are describing, guys, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Yeah. Somebody gets to them, or they're getting off program, off message. I mean, Charlie, I don't even follow this stuff anymore because I view it as it's all of it is like the distraction. And they do this.
It's a bunch of shenanigans.
Yeah, it's theater. It's all, I'm just trying to say, when I read about the old ways, they weren't dealing with this type of stuff. We live in this type of situation. It's on purpose. Like, I always ask people, poor people don't own newspapers. Poor people don't publish magazines. Poor people don't do any of the, like, so everything has to come from the top down. Everything costs money to put together in this system.
And they have been doing it for centuries. I'm telling you, like centuries. I mean, like using the newspaper, they use the newspapers to push the narratives. Because, you know, back in the day, they didn't have no cell phones. They didn't have no internet. They didn't have no TVs. They didn't have no way. So they use newspapers and bulletins
and radio.
And radio. Well, even before radio, they were church. Like, I was noticing when I was doing my research, listen, I'm extremely obsessed with this website called newspaper.com, y'all. I swear to God, I be on there all day long. And they literally, they would print the same, it's the same thing that the news does today. They would print the same article in multiple places across the country, even overseas, even in another country. What was you going to say, Travis?
No, Shannon, I love what you're saying because you bring this thought to me. Think about what the original news, like it's the AP Newswire. What is that? That's one story getting written and then distributed worldwide.
That's
the
what they were
Right.
doing.
message.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were doing. What's up, Blue? We were talking about Jane Elliott and Tim Wise. What you say? What's your thoughts?
Look, when it comes to this stuff, I'm like level 10, right? Like, okay, so here's where I am. Okay. The Trilateral Commission was started by David Rockefeller in 1973. He organized all of the globalist buddies into making decisions to structure the world around you. Okay. Now, there's some really bad people. Okay. They're not good people. They're the guys that were running Epstein. Okay.
Right.
So black, white, yellow, red, we all have the same enemy. But the more you watch the news, the more you talk about race. So I think Jane Elliott's a joke, right? Because all of it detracts from we all have the same enemy.
Yeah, we do.
So you want to talk about race? You want to talk about right, left? You want to talk about Democrat, Republican? You are, in fact, a part of the machine that is controlling all of us. So don't engage in it. We all have the same enemy. And the faster that we focus on that and handle the enemy and say, we're not doing your bullshit, the faster we win as Americans and the better our lives become. So I think Jane Elliott is a damn joke because she's not up in the class going, we have the same enemy, you morons. Let's get together on this. They are controlling us and we need to stop them. There's only 100,000 of them. There's 8.2 billion of us.
Way more of us than it is
It's
of
more,
them.
it's more of us than it is of them. But the thing about it is, they don't, if we all got together and be on one accord and one sync, they wouldn't, man, I would take our stock in the pens because all of them will shit on themselves.
Like
what
that,
What you about to say, Fool? Go ahead, Fool. Hold on, Travis. I'm gonna let Fool go,
No,
and you can go right after him.
This is on topic but off topic, but this, like, it really just hit me when she said that. After 9/11 happened, and it seemed like the country really came together, and things were really like starting to kind of gel. What happened to split us up again? Was it Barack Obama getting elected?
44.
That Trojan, Barry, that Trojan horse they put in on us.
I'm saying that because it seems as if any time in this country where the masses start coming together, something has to happen for it to be a split. It's always like that because the last time this happened was Bernie Sanders and the 99%.
Yeah.
You had the coalition was coming. As soon as they saw that shit coming, South Carolina happened with Clyburn. Yep. It's like every single time. Like, go back to Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton was this 21-year-old was bringing everybody together. They couldn't let that shit happen. It's like every time in this country, no matter what, when it starts to be positive groupthink collectively, they got to do whatever they got to do to break that shit down. And it's like, all I can say is like, wow. And it's like clockwork.
Yeah, the alphabet boys, they be like, who? Wait, hold on. We can't let them put together. Oh my God, they're doing stuff online. Let me create all of these racist bots.
Right.
Yeah. There's more racist bots online than there are actual racist people.
Yeah,
that's true.
It is insane. There is a whole, y'all don't understand. They have whole pages, whole accounts, racist stuff, racist rhetoric on IG. There's an account on IG that I saw on there. And it was just unbelievable. I was just like, how is this even possible to even continue to go on?
Once you realize, once you get to like level 8, pretty, and you realize that Barack Obama didn't come out of nowhere.
He was groomed.
Well, I mean, he didn't come out of nowhere. George Bush Sr. And Lolo Sotero, Barack Obama's stepfathers, were business partners.
Yep. You didn't know that? He said his original name was Barry.
What's that?
Barry Soto. So I can't really pronounce it.
Sotero.
When George Bush was running the CIA,
when he was a little boy.
Yeah, that's why you would always see Michelle Obama and George Bush Jr. always hugging and exchanging candies. They knew each other forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why you'd always see him hugging, man.
Yeah.
George Bush Sr. was in the CIA running intelligence, and his counterpart in the Indo-Pacific was Barack Obama's stepfather.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, sitting here having this conversation, and with the way this panel looks in 2026, if all of us were out together eating and just shooting the shit, everything would be fine visually. If one person in the group, whether it could be me, it could be Blackjack, if one person had on a Make America Great Again hat, the backlash would be fucking crazy. And it speaks volumes to me, because, and this is the reason why, we've talked about this before, why this needs to be studied. How can something like that trigger you like that, when in essence that hat brings more people together than you think? That's the thing. And that's the part that I love, is that you get so many people that really want to come together and have conversations, but the powers that Blackjack we talk about, the ones controlling the strings, they have to find something to make you not like mind you, even with something like this. Somehow Blackjack could get a message. Fu said this about you, this, that, whatever, or it go to Pretty. Fu said this. And the great thing about it is we know that's not true.
Right.
The same way y'all know, if they take me out and say he overdosed and he was with a skinny chick, they ain't had no ass, you know it ain't true.
I know it ain't true. And she can't cook. I know that's a damn lie.
I know it's a lie.
I know you lying like a rug. That is BS. That is, the matter of fact, that is some baby back bullshit. I'm gonna just say what it is. I know you lying. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Tim Wise. We done talked a lot about Jane Elliott. What about Tim Wise? What you think of Travis? What do you think of Tim Wise?
I'll pass on that because I haven't been keeping up with it. So that's all.
So do you all think that he educates, or does it just all center on white guilt politics? I'm telling y'all, they the reason why white folks is supposed to feel bad. I gotta feel so bad because I'm a white American. It's because of them. He's a J guy, right? Ain't he a J guy?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really now?
Yeah. Yeah. Jay Elliott is too.
I didn't know that.
You wonder who's paying them. Who's paying them? Who's paying them to keep up the race division?
Who's behind? Who's behind? Who's behind? And who's in front of them?
I never understand what it's like. We gotta force white people. This is how I know when folks don't know history. This is what I'm saying. Which white folks is you talking about? Which ones?
Yeah, it's like talking about all black people, right?
Yeah, it's like saying all black people. So which ones are you talking about? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, look, Blackjack, y'all might have to have a whole delineation. It might be time.
No, it's true though. As a white guy, I feel that way. Like I'm like in the bigger cities where there's more international. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm like connected to like the Russian guy. I feel like he looks way different than me, or like this.
Yeah,
I know you feel that way when you look at a dark guy from India, what they call India now. You're like, wait, because it's all about like
we
facial
feel that way
hair
when we
related.
see. Listen, there is when we notice like lately, because I live in Indianapolis and there is a heavy influx of immigration here, and when we're out, when we're like me and my guy are out, you have no idea how excited an American gets to see another American. It don't even matter if you black or white. Like we be having like conversations with just anybody. They be so excited to talk to us because they can understand us. And that's just kind of where we are in America. We had a whole conversation with this white lady because we like to tell, like we love looking at older people who are fresh, like who are fly, like on Sundays when they be in their best dress. They be so cute. And just so like we just be like, oh, you look so cool. Oh, well, thank you. We'll have a whole conversation for 20 minutes. Don't let them be from Chicago.
Oh,
we be like best friends, right then and there. So I think that we're in this place right now where it's so important that we learn that really our best allies are other Americans.
Right.
Our
And
people who love this
and you say that
country.
pretty. Me and Blackjack was up on I forgot whose panel it was, and I came in, and they couldn't believe how good me and Blackjack was together. Like, and I'm like, yeah, that's my brother. And it was shocking that me talking to Blackjack, like me and Blackjack was talking, they couldn't understand it.
Perfect example right here. White folks started and funded African diaspora studies in America. No Lonwin did. No. A Jewish man and a German man funded that. That's what I'm saying.
A much better way to say it. Precision. The more precise you can get, the better, because then things start to. Yeah, you need to know, like,
what was up here, man?
Same like. Fact, I'm gonna give you the name of them, just so you'll have. I can't never say his last name.
They'll
right,
probably be related to or part of the same group that funded the abolitionist societies, the anti-slavery. You'll see like the same people like turn up actually the same name. It's like literally each generation starts a movement, starts a distraction or a cult.
Like, as soon as I find the name, I'm gonna let you know. I can't pronounce. Yep, Franz Boas. That's one of them. That is one of them. It's another guy. His name is Melvin Herskovic or something like that.
What was the first guy's? What was the first Franz? What was his name?
Franz Boas. He's supposed to be like the father of anthropology here in America.
How do you spell Boaz? Anybody know?
B-O-A-Z. B-O-A-Z.
It's a very Eastern European name. Boaz.
Yeah, he look it. He look it. He definitely had a face that a mother loved. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I just wanted to add in on this because we're talking about all the modern stuff. I just want to say, like, I love looking at the books that will describe what was going down in America before colonization or even in the early years, because that's where you start to you can really start to imagine how things were different just a few hundred years ago. And I just want to emphasize that it doesn't. The alternative is not chaos. They did not have a chaotic system. It was very organized, and there was plenty of accounting. They just didn't have a system based on debt and all these other things. But the point I'm just trying to make is sometimes it can help you understand better what you're dealing with now if you could contrast it to something. And that's why I like to emphasize that to people. I call it indigenous signatures, and we literally can still see it. This place was network of canals and waterways. Your ancestors, I'm telling you, the state of Florida is just a completely networked grid. It is not natural. There's so much stuff going right in front of us that we don't even give credit correctly. Yeah. And it's almost like it's all part of the game. They want us all to think like it's either what we're in now or complete chaos, or they want to pretend you're going to be a Soviet Union, and who knows if that was even bad anymore. I mean, they can lie to us about all this other stuff. How do any of us know what was really going down there, right? My point being is just there are ways to kind of get at what was the old civilization that particularly your ancestors, a lot of them were from. It was still here. And there's books even into the 1770s, man, just showing the ancient Indian highways that are 50 yards wide with 4-foot curves. You know what those ancient Indian highways are? They're I-95 right now, guys. All they did is put fucking asphalt over your ancient transportation grid. And you can find books from the 1800s talking about how it was like a honeycomb of Indian highways throughout this country. And we all drive over this stuff every day and don't give credit for credit's due. I just want to point that out because we have a lot that we talk about in the modern society. I'm like, there are other ways to kind of do it.
His name is Melville Herskovitz. He is the father of African studies. That is who helped fund. I did another shameless plug because this is what I'm going to do. Y'all could go on my YouTube right now. I have a video where I am reacting to Dane Calloway's. He's talking about this man as well as Franz Boas, if that's his name. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of him so y'all know. Go look this man up. His name is Melville Herskovitz. This is the guy who started the Back to Africa movement. This man right here.
I know his name wasn't no damn Melvin.
Melville. Melvin.
You said it. I know his name ain't no fucking Melvin. That's a nigga name.
well,
they do try and pretend they're like the ancient Hebrews, don't they?
Yep, this is true.
Maybe
That's why their kids are named Jeremiah. It's like, wait, why is this white guy named Hezekiah? I'm confused.
Just look at these pictures, y'all. So y'all don't think that I'm going crazy right now. Like, look at these corny ass pictures. I'm like, y'all fell for this.
Melvin is short for his name is so crazy.
Look at the pictures, though.
Pointed out.
Oh my!
Look at the pictures. Do you see him?
Oh my God.
These they're just giving that assignment. I'm telling you, he's given that assignment from the top.
Yeah.
It's a whole. Wow. There you go. He's nailing it. Yeah. Cultural identity. He's nailing it. Yeah. How do you hijack it? How do you conceal it?
I just don't understand why these folks was always in our business.
That's why.
At the heart of blackness. You see how he's sitting with the black. This is what he started that. And you know when we had,
they're in your business for all the reasons we're talking about right now. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It's all work. They weren't. That's the whole thing. It works. That's why they do it. Right?
I'm telling y'all. And you know what's even crazier? And a lot of people probably don't want to hear this. I didn't want to hear it. In fact, if you go look at the video that I have posted on my YouTube, I actually cried when I saw this because a lot of the people that we hold up as pillars of, in such a highlight, like W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington. W.E.B. Du Bois was working with Frankie Boas as well as him. In fact, before Black Wall Street started getting bombed and caught on fire, they were going around visiting these places. So we got to also be mindful that all Black people ain't our family members. We had some people that really looked like us, but did not have our best interests at heart. We wouldn't know that now because, back in the day, that was a long time ago. And of course, we've been taught that we're supposed to look at them in such a highlight. But history is starting to come and kick them in their ass right now. And a lot of Black folks is not going to be ready for the amount of information that's coming out. No, because y'all still.
It's like Martin Luther King. A lot of people didn't realize how bad Martin Luther King was to us. Martin Luther King was a Trojan horse. And like he said, I think I just set y'all into a burning house.
Hey, pretty,
I just took y'all into a burning house. Martin Luther King, really, to tell you the truth, only reason why they selected Martin Luther King to speak for the Black people is because he was the son of a preacher. And you know how Black folks is about reverend this and reverend, yeah. And
hey, pretty,
because they listen to him.
What you said proves this point too.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you have certain people in our community that don't want to have a conversation with Dane Calloway.
No.
They will not. They will not have a conversation with Dane Calloway. And the reason why is because he's going to shut a lot of that shit down because he actually has the documentation to back up what he's saying.
Yes.
It's not, and that, I think that's why I like when it comes to Blackjack and both, like you and Travis, I respect, I mean, Blackjack, you already know what's up, but I'm just meeting Travis for the first time. The respect factor from me is major because you're not just talking. You're talking based on facts, and you can have that back and forth and that dialogue with somebody. Unfortunately, we living with people, they'll say some shit, but they're fucking lying. And they know it's not true, and they still repeat it.
Yeah.
They're winning the argument.
Yeah, go ahead, Blackjack.
Can I tell you something fucked up about, thank you. I've never known about Melville Herskovitz.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel better now?
See, I love learning, man.
You want a Hershey bar?
But I love doing deep dives. So this guy literally creates African American studies.
Yeah.
And 1 year later, he's on the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Yep. Clip that.
I shit
now,
you
ain't that
not.
something? Now, ain't that about a bitch?
Yeah. Oh, well, let's
sorry.
study African Americans. Good. Now you work for the
That's I'm
Foreign
sorry.
Relations Committee at the U.S. Senate?
And he lied about his position.
Foreign relations, though, like we got to really think about what they mean by foreign relations. I think they mean a foreigner relating into America and fucking things up.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
Throw in another
that he's in.
Throw in another caveat. He's probably also in the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, guys, forensic.
Not on my watch.
I mean,
well, listen, y'all, we gotta close it up. We gotta close. Look, we would have been talking for hours. I love this panel. Thank y'all so much for topping in. Okay, before we gotta have one last lightning round, and we're just gonna say one myth that we need to retire. Everybody just gets to go around. I'm going to start with Travis, and then we're just going to go around. Travis, one myth to retire. Let's go.
Okay. I would like to retire the myth that Yankees means white people from New England. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh.
That's a
myth. Jack? Thank you.
I would like to retire the myth that we don't have the same enemy.
Grandma?
Oh, wait.
You don't know.
Jesus. Go to me last.
Go, fool.
She's letting it simmer. Simmering.
I want to retire the myth that all white people are racist.
Right?
Yeah. Same.
Well, what I want to retire is all the shenanigans that Black people and white folk can't get along. I want to retire the shenanigans that quit gaslighting us and lying to us, tell us the truth. And I also like to put it to rest that this is not a plan. There's been a plan for years and decades and decades.
Amen to Grandma. She's
Amen.
Amen.
I
want to retire. I want to retire the myth that when y'all say that nobody's illegal on stolen land, kiss my ass on that.
Get off of it.
My entire matter of fact, kiss my ass, your kneecaps while you at it. Stop saying that because the land was it was conquered. Okay, and we have laws. All right. Unfortunately, the people who have put these laws in place, they're literally redoing what they did historically a long time ago. That's why it's important to know history, because you'll start to see, well, damn, they replacing us again. They trying to. They're not gonna get away with it this time because because right now we the unity that they did not want us to have so long ago when we were mixing and procreating, we still have it right now. What's so crazy is they so stupid. that they're promoting intermixing. They're promoting it on TV every single hour of the day.
True.
So, do you really think that a black man who's married and in love with a Latino woman, an Asian woman, a white woman, and they have biracial children, that he's going to turn his back on his family and just be like, oh, no, bitch, you got to get the hell on. I already got the C's that I need. No, he's going to look at himself as an American. She's going to look at him as an American. Those kids are going to be an American. They cannot stop the unity that is happening right now, even though they're so stupid that they're promoting it and thinking that it's really causing more of a wedge. But it's really not, because we need more panels like this.
Right.
We need more panels where Black Americans and non-Black Americans can sit back and we can have a conversation about history and not feel as if the next person needs to feel bad because of a history that may make another person who's from that side look bad. I don't look at Black Jack as just a white man. I don't look at Travis as just a white man. Black Jack is my brother. Travis, you part of the family too. I've been learning so much from
I'm
you.
so glad to meet you, Travis.
Thank you.
You know, they don't like what they're doing right now. They don't like this, y'all. And believe it or not, they're trying to put gasoline on a fire that's smoldering out.
Absolutely.
And that fire won't come back up again. The more that they try, they're not being successful at it.
They not, and they won't, and that's okay though, because we in the Realist Lounge, and when you pop up, when you pull your chair up, you know I always just strive to learn, to teach something, to learn something. This isn't nothing where I claim to know everything, because I don't. I'm a student of this game. And we're all students, and we all have to be willing to learn and to respect others' perspectives, even if we agree or we don't disagree, which is something I wish that we could get to know on a political level. Just because you're a Democrat, that doesn't mean I have to hate you. Right. You have a different perspective. And we should be able to have a conversation.
I look at it like this, Pretty. We're a big old puzzle.
Yep.
With a million, trillion, quadruple pieces to it. And every last one of us is a piece of that puzzle.
Yep.
And eventually we're going to put all them pieces together and we're going to have one big solid puzzle. And that is something that they're not going to, they can't handle. And in fact, we're getting closer to completing that puzzle on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And once we get them last few pieces in, once again, I'm going to get stock. I don't know what the stock is right now, Black Jack, but you probably know. I'm going to get stock in Depends. Why? It's because they're going to lose their shit. They're going to lose their shit. Oh, no
y'all, let's get up out of here. We're going to go ahead.
Thank you very much, Pretty, for allowing me to come on.
Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you.
This so much for coming, Grandma.
Nice meeting you, young man.
Thank you. It was great being here.
And let me plug my guest real fast. I got to definitely make sure you all know. So before we move on, this is exactly why I appreciate what Travis does. And I see a lot of people are asking, what do I do as far as my lineage? What do I do as far as my history? I'm finding out all of these things because we are talking some really good conversations here. So join for free the forensic reports. And if you want to take a deep dive, check out the premium investigative doozy. Is it dooziers? Am I saying it right?
Dossiers, right? Yeah, I got a little.
Like the indigenous origins of the Yankees and the cult of Columbia. So definitely go ahead and give them your handle. Make sure you give them your handle so how they can follow you.
Yeah. Check me out, guys. It's American Ancestry Decoded, YouTube or TikTok, and online, AmericanAncestryDecoded.com. Free membership gets you access to 5 to 10 page reports, and then I'm pumping out others, 59, 70 pages, fully sourced, kind of graduate level analysis and presentation, fact-based, But that's what the business is. Yep.
I appreciate that. And for everybody who keeps saying,
follow.
And for everybody who keeps saying follow the money, that's where blackjack comes in.
Oh yeah.
If you want updates on politics, if you want updates on financing and what's really going on with the money flow in this country, make sure you follow at Blackjack American is back. Did I say
Can I
that?
can I
You
can I
did.
can I tell them the secret?
It was a
about
lot.
Yeah, please tell them a secret, Grandma.
about you going. Can I announce it?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, guess what? Guess who's going to the Senate? The U.S. Senate. The one and only blackjack,
House.
y'all.
House.
And so
Oh,
the
really?
secret, yes, he filed the paperwork. We prayed about it. He asked his family about it because it's, you know, when you get up there, they try to do, if you're in the wrong place, they try to do a Hillary Clinton on you. And so, yeah, I can happily announce that my brother from another mother, he's going to be the U.S. Senator for the state of Nevada, y'all.
Yes,
So-
you deserve it.
And
Wait,
so
wait,
if we
wait,
don't,
wait,
if we
what?
don't, we
Oh,
need
yeah,
to, we
dude,
need
I'm
to
running
back
for the
him as much
U.S.
as we
House.
can.
Second district
awesome.
in Nevada.
And what I'm sorry, I forgot the district, Blackjack. I'm sorry.
Second
Yeah.
House district for Nevada.
I love
Okay.
that.
Make sure we talk on the phone. Are you on Facebook?
I am not.
Mm-mm.
As soon as you can, make a Facebook page. I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna show you why. Look, and
He
I'm
about to
I'ma
be
say
your
this.
he about to be your damn manager. Let me be
I'ma
your
say this.
manager.
I've been
I'm
trying
gonna
to
say
get him
this,
hooked up.
and when I say
in
this,
Georgia.
y'all gonna really understand why I'm making this statement. There are groups on Facebook right now with 1 million people in it. 1
Wow.
million. So I want you to just think about what I'm saying to you. If you got a group on Facebook with 1 million and you go in that group and you find people in your district, you got direct contact with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can show
Okay.
you how to do it. This shit is crazy.
All right, I'll call you, Fu.
Well,
I
All right.
love that. And guys, just so you all know, this is a live panel for everybody. If you all are interested in joining a panel, we do this every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please reach out to me at prettyrealistpodcast@gmail.com. Holla at your girl and let me know if you have any type of topics that you would like for us to touch on. What you was about to say, Grandma?
well, I let me tell you, when he told me, I broke down and cried because I was so happy that I know him. And I'm like, okay, I prayed about it because he's been toiling with it. And when he said he had that paperwork, y'all, let me tell you something. As old as I am, my ass got up and tried to do me a little jig. So y'all make sure that y'all follow Blackjack. He's very knowledgeable, y'all. And if you listen to him, listen and learn. Because he
Yes.
is full
Here's the deal,
of
guys.
knowledge.
I'm at a point in my life where I cannot be bought.
Right.
I'm not even raising funds. I'm using my own money because I don't want to owe anybody anything.
I love that.
And if I ever get the camera, I'm going to start telling the truth about everything.
You're
I
gonna
love
get it.
that.
It ain't no if, you are
Hey.
gonna get it. I keep telling him, he said if. I said it's not no word. I don't believe in ifs. I believe in, I speak it in. What I speak, I try to speak everything in existence. When you get that camera,
Hey, Pretty, we're gonna have to make sure that we get Big Brother CC as his bodyguard.
yeah,
Man.
There you go.
yeah.
All right, guys, I got to run.
All right, y'all. I gotta run too. I gotta
Later.
finish doing my wifely duties. Thank you all so much
Nice
for
meeting
joining
everybody.
the
I appreciate
live.
it.
Everybody, please make sure you all click that bell, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all next Monday. Also, Wednesday, I drop a new video. We got a really good interview that we're gonna be having with my girl Goddess Perspect. And yeah, I see you all next time, y'all. Make sure you all follow the guests. Grandma, I love you.
I love you too. And
Travis,
that's
thank you
hugs,
so much.
love, and
Blackjack, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
blessings to
much.
Cheers.
everybody.
Thanks,
Peace,
guys.
y'all.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
Bye.
How do I drop?
I got you.
Just trying to stay sucker free in a world full of lollipops. I'm seeing all the ops. Fake news, fake views. It's an illness, the cure to the sick shit. It's the pretty real